It's January 19th, 2023. We're here for our bi-monthly human resource meeting. It is 10 a.m. I'm calling this meeting to order, and attending are Commissioners Brooks, Matari, and Duncan. Are there any changes to the agenda? Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and get started with our first action item, and this is a request for bonus for specialty court. And I'm not sure who's going to lead us because nobody's here to present that. Yeah.
I guess HR will do its best in reference to this. Annually, the specialty courts come forward with a bonus for the judicial assistant that works for the administrative judge. And it is a budgeted item, and the projection is budget neutral for the request, but it's an annual thing that they budget and bring forward.
So that's what I thought. The projection said it's not budgeted in the
Yeah,
county.
they don't have any bonuses budgeted in that, where that employee is paid from, and that's the only information we received.
Okay.
So as far as I can tell, it's not budgeted.
It's something the state does, not us, but somehow we pay it.
Oh, great. So, okay. Any questions on this? Questions?
No.
Okay. Then I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve their request for a bonus for the specialty court pursuant to Idaho Code 74-206.
Stop right there. Just, yeah, that's the executive we didn't need to go into.
Oh,
So
sorry.
you're good. The bonus for specialty court.
Okay.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Item 2, request for higher duty pay, Resource Management Office. And I know, Jody, you went into some detail last week, so I guess if you want to lead us off again.
Sure. The former duties of the senior program manager, which must now be reassigned to the program manager, grant manager, and grant technician, include the point of contact for 13 departments and elected officials. Program manager will assume the supervisory responsibilities previously handled by the senior program manager. The grant manager will assume tasks and duties related to application management, administration of grants for the county, notably replacing the senior program manager as a point of contact for the 13 departments and elected officials, including the sheriff office and the fairgrounds. The grant manager will also replace the senior program manager on all ISP, JAG grant management systems for administration and reporting. The grant technician will continue to act as a point person for tasks, activities, and responsibilities related to ARPA and LATCF funding while providing additional support for the director, program manager, and grant manager regarding the existing and additional tasks and duties related to grant applications, plans, policies, procedures, procurement, and other duties as they arise. The additional responsibilities assigned to the program manager, and grant technician will leave each of them overcommitted in their current workloads. The RM will review and assess the workload, workflow, and responsibilities for these positions in June 2023.
Okay. Questions for Jody?
I don't have any questions necessarily for Jody, but I'm just curious, is there money in the budget for something like this? Because it says that it's a budget increase.
Right. So I think the county portion, so the tax portion of it, and then we got to separate it out because the admin assistant is the next item. So
So what Brandy had calculated is that the county fiscal 23 increase would be $2,037. And that conversely, there was a group insurance savings of $6,000 due to the transition of the senior program manager going to independent contractor.
So county-wise, we're actually saving $4,000, but ARPA money will increase, and FTA money will increase. So those are already grants that we have, that we're administering.
Yeah.
So,
I have no other questions.
okay, Bill? All right, so is there a motion? Is there
Move that we
thoughts?
approve the request for higher duty pay for the Resource Management Office.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari?
Aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye, motion passes. Item 3, request for new employee, Resource Management Office. Jody?
The RMO requests an administrative assistant to pick up the administrative duties from the program manager, and grant technician. Responsibilities for the prospective administrative assistant would include processing of payrolls, labor monitoring, including site visits and certified payroll for ongoing grant projects, including ARPA capital projects, as provided in the position's job description, which I provided to HR. The addition of this position will relieve the other overcommitment of responsibilities for RMO's program manager, grant manager, and grant technician.
So my thoughts on this would be that we approve a temporary position through September 30th, and then during the reorganization, you mentioned June of '23, we'd be able to put it in the budget, and if the additional body was approved based on the reclassification of the other positions, since they have the higher duties now. So that's just my thought on it. Bill?
The only question I'd ask Brandy, does this duplicate anything that you're doing?
Does this new person duplicate anything that my office is doing?
Yes.
I would have to review specifically the job duties that Jody had listed to give a concise answer to that. We don't do any grant compliance, and I don't know Jody's operations, so I can't really give a good answer to that, unfortunately, off the top of my head. I would like to clarify, if you do approve this as a temporary position, that funding, is that going to come from the money in the BOCC budget for temp employees, or are you going to fund that with ARPA and FTA?
I probably would suggest our ARPA and FTA, just to save that temp pool for other things.
Okay.
So,
In clarification, when you say temporary, you're saying to review the positions in totality, correct?
yes, so.
As you would in any budget.
Correct.
process.
Yeah. So, and then this is the perfect time to start the reorganization process. So when it's presented to us during
Yeah.
budget season, we will know what the future is.
Yes.
And so that will also give us July at the latest, you'd be able to know if this particular person would be able to just continue on and be hired as full-time permanent.
Okay.
But that's my suggestion, Bruce.
No, I like that, kind of revisiting in June.
Yeah.
And then again in September 30, because we have the budget. And I think, it's important that we all understand to what end, we're doing these things. So,
All right, I guess I will take this motion then. Any other?
I have one more.
Sure.
Excuse me. ARPA tends to. ARPA seems to play heavily into this. This is, normally when I hear ARPA, I say no. That's because of the building. But this has nothing to do with the building, correct?
It has to do with.
From what I'm hearing, I don't, Jody, what does this have to do with the building?
It has to do with ARPA funds. So it's the ARPA funds being able to do the variety of things, whether it's HVAC generators, all the projects, and yes, it would include the building. So it's the process and compliance and technical requirements that are being met to fulfill ARPA overall.
So even if the building went away, you would still need this person to fulfill this duty
Yes.
for the other ARPA projects?
Yes, you would.
Does that
Yes.
help?
It's a big nut. It's $32 million.
Yeah.
It's a big nut.
All right, then I move that we approve a request for a temporary new employee for Resource Management Office to end September 30th of 2023 with the funds coming from ARPA and FTA.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks?
No.
Commissioner Matari?
aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye. All right, motion passes. And item 4, possible reorganization of Building and Grounds Department. I had brought this forward, I don't know, sometime probably in the last 3 or 4 months, with the building project and with Kootenai North and all of our facilities aging and having to have things replaced. I really want to consider and look at a facilities manager, or director, I'm sorry, director of facilities, because Greg is, pretty busy. So we brought the job description forward, and today, all I'm looking for is to kind of approve the job description and then kind of table it. He's doing really good, and without the snow right now, they're keeping up with everything. So I want to get a little bit further down the line, and I understand that there's actually some other new personnel requests that are going to really trump this, and so I'd like to just approve the job description, but table it until another time, I guess.
And this is the administrative secretary?
This is the director of facilities. So
Director of
right now, we just
facilities.
have a kind of a maintenance, building and grounds manager. Yeah, so the building and grounds manager would then be a maintenance supervisor, and then we would hire the director of facilities.
Okay.
But at this point, I don't feel the urgency to move forward. I just would like to get the job description approved at this point.
Is Kootenai North ready to occupy at this point?
No, it is December of '23. It should be ready to occupy. They're supposed to be getting out October of '23, and they want a couple months to be able to fully vacate. And so that discussion's actually going to be coming up probably in the next month or two about where we're going to go or who's going to go
And
there.
I mean, basically who's got dibs on what
Yes.
space
Yep.
in the next month or two?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So we will do that. So
And this expansion here is largely because we're expanding our footprint. With the,
yes, yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
part of it. But yes, I mean, a bigger issue is where all of our buildings are now getting to be, 30 years old. We need new HVAC systems. We just have a lot more going on.
okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So right now, today, we're not approving the position. We're only approving the job description for facilities, director of facilities. Then we'll go later and, look at either putting it in the budget to start in October if we feel it's still necessary, or if we have to hire it mid-year because something changed, then we'll do
So
that
this
then.
is not an action item today? It's just
It is an
discuss-
action item just for the job description, because it ended up,
Okay.
what grade was it, Sil?
Initial projections are putting it at a grade 16,
Okay.
but this does not show as an action item.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it says discussion.
Well, okay, so,
Decisions, direction, open meeting action.
Oh, it is,
Yeah.
That's how
sorry.
that's
There we go.
always,
yeah,
Oh.
that's how it's
Turn
always,
the page.
On the other
You're
side.
good.
yep.
You're good.
Oh, it snuck around to the second page.
In here.
So, I mean, if you guys aren't comfortable approving
No,
it
I'm
today, we don't
comfortable,
have
it's
to. It's
fine.
just, all we're doing is approving the job description. So when we come forward and we say we want to fill, we want a position, then we'll have that discussion at that time, so.
I move that we move forward with the reorganization of the Building and Grounds Department
Okay, and approve the job description.
and approve the job description.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, so that's there, and should we feel the necessity to bring that forward, we can do that because we have a job description. All right, I would like to handle items 5 and 6 together in executive session, then when we exit, we will go ahead and exit out. So it's the same Idaho Code 742061B. So I would entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I move that we go into executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74-2061B.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. It is 10:58, and is there a motion to exit executive session?
I make a motion that we exit executive session.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, so as opposed to the request for item number 5, I am not in favor of granting that request today. And what do my fellow commissioners want to do?
I don't want to do anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm of the same opinion, especially with the information that we've discussed, so.
Okay, so we don't need to take any action, or we do need to deny the request?
No action.
No action on item 5. And then 6 would be staff to proceed as discussed. Do you want a motion for that?
No, just direction.
Okay, so staff has direction. Sorry, Jonathan. Staff has direction on item 6, and then I'll just reiterate in case my voice didn't pick up. And then item 5 is we're not going to, no action on that one either. Public comment. Okay, and 10:59, meeting adjourned. Thank you guys so much.
You're not losing your voice, you're just.